Hi, I'm Carly. Welcome back to Farmer Analytics. We have another ewe that's in labor right now. Some signs that we're seeing right now are that she's pretty restless. She's got some discharge coming out. Her udder is extremely full, completely filled out, and she's pawing at the ground, digging. And so I'd expect to see her start pushing here soon. So let's hang out and see what happens. So here's Betty, and you can see that discharge coming off the back of her. You can also see her udder is really full at this point. And we'd expect her to start labor here soon. When I say discharge, that string that you can see hanging down there on the back of her udder is some clear discharge coming out that we usually see right before labor. The lambing jug's all set up, but we're actually not going to move her in here until after she lambs. We actually prefer to let them lamb out in the big group. It gives her more space to be able to move around into labor. And then once those lambs are born is when we bring them over here away from the group. And that lets them nurse and bond and spend some quality time together. Right now she is digging herself kind of like a little nest back there and kind of just claiming her space, kicking everybody out from that area as she prepares to have babies. And we had essentially no signs that she was going into labor today. And that's kind of how it is every year for her specifically. She will just come out of nowhere and all of a sudden she's in labor and there's babies. Whereas most of our other girls, we can tell when they're going to lamb just based on when they get swollen or their behavior changes or their udders really start to fill out a couple days beforehand. Whereas Betty is just like that day, that hour, everything happens real fast for her. For the most part, we try to take a hands-off approach when it comes to lambing, meaning we'd rather let mom do her normal, natural thing. And if there looks to be a problem, we are right there to step in. But if there's no problems, we just let nature take its course. And this can be hard, especially if you're watching the births. I find that the ones that we don't see happen overnight maybe, and the lambs are there, I always wonder if I would have stepped in because, you know, you want to step in and do as much as you can for that mama to make sure everything goes right and for those lambs. And the ones that I stand here and watch, I find that I get more anxious and like very ready to jump in when maybe you don't necessarily need to. So I try to keep that in mind and be very patient and let mom do her best on her own. Now that yawning and that teeth grinding are actually signs of pain, which they'll do commonly during labor. So right now we are seeing just a foot coming out. Right at this point we look for what position the baby's coming out. They want to be coming out in a diving position, like feet up at the head, and that should all come out together. And that will make for, hopefully, a smooth labor and birthing.
Right over there.
Okay, so we have our first baby on the ground. This was, as I was saying, we saw 2 feet, but then quickly realized that they were back feet based on the fact that they were pointing, the hooves were essentially pointing upward. So we actually did jump in here and help the baby out. He was pretty stuck up on those back legs, and once those unfolded, essentially, the baby came out much easier. And because he was back feet first, we essentially tried to reach in and reposition him, but there was no room for movement. So he had to come out back feet first, which is not ideal for anybody. But the only way that he was going to enter the world here. And because he was back feet and tail first, we do know it's a boy. Okay, so he is pretty cold. It's cold in here. I'm cold, and he's shivering. So we are going to take him and Mom to their lambing pen. We're not sure if she has another one coming yet, but that's okay. She can have the second one in there too. But we want to get him dry, and we want to get him under a heat lamp so that he can get warm. Good job. Let's get up. Let's get up and drink. Come on, bud. Let's get up. Let's get up on your feet. You are so tall. Holy moly. Find that teat. Go find that teat. Go find. Good job. Good job.
Oh, well.
Good job. Yeah, it's okay. He's looking. He's got the little head shake going, like looking for milk. There you go. Good boy. Yep, right there. Oh, you almost had it. You almost had it. Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. He's got it. Good boy. That's a good boy. Hang on.
How long before she'll pass her stuff?
It could be hours.
Okay. But presumably she doesn't know.
She's not active laboring, I don't think so. She'd still be pushing. They usually go right back into pushing.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen it. I think she was just trying to.
This is a single.
Also, I don't want her to have a break.
I'm like
Yeah.
90% sure this is all she's got going. Yep, it's a mess.
It's spilled all over my hands.
Good morning. We're back up in the barn checking out our new little guy this morning. And we actually did come up here last night around midnight to check on him and make sure that he wasn't too cold, make sure that he still had a full belly. And he's actually looking a lot stronger to me. He's standing up. He is stronger on his legs. Last night he was pretty weak, to be honest, and we were pretty uneasy leaving him up here overnight. That's why we had a couple checks on him. But he's looking really good. He's coming around. I think he had a really rough start the way he was born, and that can kind of knock them off their feet initially. So while everybody's eating breakfast, we're going to take another look at this little guy. Right off the bat, he's got a nice full belly, which means that he's getting plenty of milk from mom. And take a look at him here. His navel's starting to dry up pretty well. And we're going to get a quick weight on him, just because I'm curious. I think he is a pretty big ram lamb here. He's 12.9 pounds. That's our biggest lamb yet this season. But he's a single, so I would expect him to be quite a bit larger, especially because he was such a difficult birth. He essentially was feet first and tail first. The challenge for us last night was we could not really maneuver him back in to move him around at all. And we really had to release those legs. So once the legs came out, they were able to straighten out because they were kind of crumpled up as well inside. So once those straightened out, he was basically around here on his body, and then we could pull the rest of the way out. So it was a pretty hard birth for Betty, and we're going to give her a good look over this morning. He looks really good. He's nursing. He's full of milk, looking a lot more energetic and lively than he was last night. Last night he was pretty lethargic. I had to get him up, stand him up on his feet. I had to help him find the teat, help him drink his first milk. But he did get a good amount of milk. He had a belly full to the brim before we left him last night, which helped him warm up. It helped him wake up, and it helped him get some good energy going before the night. We were able to come out around 12 or 12:30 last night just to check on him. I like to look at lambs every couple hours, especially if they don't look so good. In his case, he did not look so good. I wasn't feeling that great about him last night, just because he was so lethargic. His check last night looked okay. Still weren't thrilled with how he looked, but he was warm. He was up trying to nurse, and he looked okay. We haven't had to help him find the teat since he was initially born, which is what you want. You want him to, keep nursing on his own, which it seems at this point he is doing. So mom's back end looks good. Her udders look good. Her teats look good. They look like they're being expressed evenly for this baby lamb. Okay, we're back up at the barn. This little guy is almost 24 hours old at this point, and he's doing really well. We haven't seen any problems today with anything. We can check him here and just check. He's nice and full and eating, nursing well. And I've been watching him nurse all day, so I'm really happy with that. And he's standing really well on his legs, getting around just fine. So the plan is probably to kick them back into the flock at some point in 2 days. He was a little bit of a slow start, so we might give him a little extra time in here, just to keep an eye on him, make sure that he does well before he gets to play with the other lambs and meet the rest of the flock. Thanks for hanging out with me in the barn. I'll see you next time.